I'm looking at page 38 of your textbook. All right, here's number 1 on page 38. It says, Trisha ran 10 kilometers in 2.5 hours. Jason ran 7.5 kilometers in 2 hours. And Olga ran 9.5 kilometers in 2.25 hours. Who had the fastest average speed? So in order to compare their speeds, we need to get them into unit rates. Okay, so for each person, we'll start with Trisha. So Trisha has a rate, and then she has a unit rate. So Trisha's rate is 10 kilometers in 2.5 hours. But we want to put it in a unit rate so that we can compare them all. So to get from this to something that has a denominator of 1, we need to divide 2.5 into 10. So we can pull up a calculator if you need to. Divide 10 by 2.5. Bingo, you get 4. So this is, let me put it down here, 4 kilometers in 1 hour. That's the unit rate that we get here. All right, so then now we're going to do that for Jason and Olga, and then we can compare. So I want you to pause the video, and I want you to do the same thing for Jason and Olga. And then I want you to try and figure out who had the fastest speed. And then once you have your answer, click play again, and then we'll see if you got it right. Okay, so these are the 3 unit rates that I came up with. For Jason, we had 3.75 kilometers per 1 hour. For Olga, it was 4.2 repeating kilometers in 1 hour. And we had that Trisha was 4 kilometers in an hour. So we're looking for the fastest speed. The fastest speed is Olga's. This is the fastest speed. Did you get it right? Okay. Next I want to go ahead and we're going to do some conversions. So we're going to look at 3 at the bottom of the page. So we need to convert. It says convert the given amount to the given unit. So we have 63 yards. And we need to turn that into feet. Right? So we know that 1 yard over 3 feet is our conversion factor. Or you can write it as 3 feet over 1 yard. So we're going to take, and remember, this is just a 1. Both of these are just 1s because these quantities are the same. So we're going to multiply 63 by a 1. You can multiply 63 by 1 and it won't change its value, right? But the one I'm going to multiply it by is going to be this one. So it's 63 yards times 3 feet over 1 yard. Now the reason I chose this second one here is because I want the units to cancel. Just like if you have like 5 over 1 times 2 over 5 and the 5's cancel, units can cancel too. So I have 63 yards over 1. The yards are going to cancel, so I want them diagonal from each other. And then all I have to do is multiply 63 times 3, which is 189 feet. Okay, let's do number 4. So in this case, we're working with hours and days. And so our conversion factors could be 1 hour to, 24 hours to 1 day, or 1 day to 24 hours. Guess we don't need the R. Okay, so I have 168 hours. Which one do you think we need? we need this one because the H is going to need to cancel. So 1 day to 24 hours. So the H is going to cancel. The hours are going to cancel. And then in this case, we have a division going on here. We have 168 over 24. So we need to divide this time. 168 divided by 24. That gives you 7. And then the unit that's left over, remember, is days. So this is how many hours there are in a week. All right, one more example. We're skipping a page. We're going to page 40, and we're going to look at we're going to look at this one right here, which it says problem for converting rates. It says an athlete ran a sprint of 100 feet in 3.1 seconds. At what speed was the athlete running in miles per hour? So we have this rate of 100 feet in 3.1 seconds. We need to turn that into a different rate, and this time we want miles per hour. So something miles over something hours. And specifically, because we want miles per hour, that means that this has to be 1 hour down here. So it is a unit rate. So we have to turn feet into miles and seconds into hours. So we are going to use a couple of different conversion factors here. So let's start with getting feet into miles. We looked that one up on Google. We saw that 1 mile equals 5,280 feet. So we can use 1 mile over 5,280 feet. And I want the feet in the denominator because right here it's in the numerator. So I'm going to do 1 mile over 5,280 feet. That way the feet will cancel. Now that'll help with the feet, but how do we get to the seconds? With the seconds, we're going to have to get from seconds to hours. Okay, well, you're going to need 2 different conversions. You're going to need one for seconds to minutes and one for minutes to hours. So from seconds to minutes, we know that 1 minute is 60 seconds. Now that one's not going to work because the S is on the bottom. We need it to be on the top. So the 1 minute's going to be on the bottom. The 60 seconds is going to be on the top. That's the one we need. Okay, so I can see that the seconds here are going to cancel. But we're still not in hours. So now we need to go from minutes to hours. So 1 hour is 60 minutes. But again, I need the minutes to cancel with the minutes here. So we're going to do it as 60 minutes on top over 1 hour. Okay? So all of these variables that need to go away, or not variables, sorry, units that need to go away are going to cancel. So the feet, we saw cancel. The minutes are going to cancel. The seconds are going to cancel. And the units that you have left are going to be the ones that you want to be left. Specifically, miles and hours. And then from here, we just have some numbers that we have to deal with. 100 times 60 times 60 divided by 3.1 times 5,280. Okay, so let's do that. So let's multiply all the numbers on the top. So 100 times 60 times 60, big number. And then I'm going to divide by this and then divide by that. So 3.1 equals, divide by 5,280 equals, okay. and we're good. It's not going to be a pretty number. And something's not right. Doesn't that seem a little fast? Let's use our reasoning skills, to recheck my calculations here, because something doesn't feel right. We're talking about an athlete running. Okay? Do you really think he can go 219 miles per hour? So I'm going to clear this and I'm going to try again. So let's see, 100. Oh, see there? I got an extra 0. That might make a difference. 100 times 60 times 60 equals, yeah, that has one less 0 than it did before. Okay, then let's hit divide by 3.1 equals divide by 5280. Okay, this is a lot more reasonable. If you're running really, really fast, this is about 22 miles per hour, that's kind of reasonable if you're running really, really fast. Okay. 219 was not reasonable. So we always want to use our reasonable skills, especially when using calculators, because one little extra button we may not realize could get us a very incorrect answer, but we humans need to realize that it's not right. We can't always trust a calculator. Although the calculator will always do what we tell it to do, but sometimes we tell it to do things we didn't mean for it to do, such as put in a 1000 instead of a 100. Okay, so there's our answer. 21, or we can round it. It said round it to the nearest mile, so that's about 22 miles per hour.